Top 9 Most Amazing Streets in the World. 9. Gravity Hill. Various locations. Unlike the other streets on this list, this is not a specific street but rather a variety of streets. There are, in fact, hundreds around the world. When you park your car at the foot of a gravity hill, also sometimes called magnetic hills or mystery hills, the car will appear to roll up the hill, not down. The reason for this is an optical illusion caused by the surrounding environment. 8. Ebenezer Place, Scotland. Ebenezer Place is the shortest street in the world, measuring just 2.06 meters, 6.8 feet. There is just one house on the street, number 1 Ebenezer Place, which was built in 1883. The building is a hotel, Mackay's, and the owner was instructed to paint a street name on its shortest side. It was officially declared a street in 1887. 7. Pan American Highway. The Americas. The Pan American Highway is the longest motoring road in the world. It has replaced Yonge Street, in Toronto, Canada, as the longest road since changes were made to the configuration of Highway 11 and Yonge Street in the 1990s. The Pan American Highway links the mainland nations of the Americas and is an amazing 48,000 kilometers, 29,800 miles, long. The highway passes through 15 nations, including the USA, Canada, Mexico, Peru, Argentina, and El Salvador. 6. Parliament Street, England. Parliament Street is in Exeter, England. It is the narrowest street in the world, measuring less than 0.64 m, 25 at its narrowest point. It was originally called Small Street, for reasons that are obvious, but was renamed when Parliament passed an Act of Law that expanded the representation of the people in the House of Commons. The street dates from the 1300s and it is 50 meters long. 5. Road to Giza, Egypt. The road to Giza is the world's oldest known paved road. The road is over 4,600 years old and is 6.5 feet wide. It covered a distance of 7.5 miles, connecting the quarries to the southwest of Cairo, to the quay on Lake Moeris which connected to the Nile. The road was used to transport the enormous blocks of basalt to Giza where they were used for building, especially for paving. 4. Lombard Street, United States. Lombard Street in San Francisco is famous for its bizarre hairpin turns. There are 8 of the turns, called switchbacks, and the street is known as the crookedest street in the world. The turns were added because the street would have been too steep for most vehicles, though it would still be less steep than the street in Item 1. The twisting section of Lombard Street is now one-way, in order to make it safer, and there is a parking ban in place. 3. The Magic Roundabout, England. Anyone who has been on the internet for a while will recognize the Magic Roundabout. It has appeared in virtually every funny picture list you can find. The roundabout is a real roundabout in Swindon, England. It was built in 1972 and it includes 5 other smaller roundabouts. To make matters worse, you must travel anti-clockwise, the reverse of the normal situation on British roundabouts. When you enter the smaller central roundabout, Swindon Junction has been voted the worst junction in Great Britain. 2. Savoy Court, England. Most of our readers will know the British drive on the left, unlike Europe and the United States. But there is one exception to this rule. Savoy Court is the only street in Britain where cars must legally drive on the right. Apparently this dates back to the old Hackney cabs. By driving on the right, the driver was able to open the back door without leaving the cab, allowing the passengers to alight on the sidewalk. This is allowed by a special Act of Parliament. 1. Steepest Street, New Zealand. Baldwin Street in Dunedin, New Zealand boasts the steepest street. New Zealand has many cities built on or around mountainous and hilly areas, and Dunedin is no exception. This street, and many others in New Zealand, were designed by British town planners who had never been to the country. They simply overlaid a grid pattern on the map and had no idea that they had made impossible or ridiculous design choices. Make sure subscribe this channel.